when we're safe, our inner child shows up. So I'm almost like I'd rather have myself and other people's inner child show up. I think I would rather have the mistakes made in that energy than if everyone was in a retracted, in a pulled back state. And sometimes the loss of connection and the loss of joy and the loss of creativity and just the loss of authenticity, then I think love and just reality can be missed out on when we all pull back. So I think we can make mistakes in both directions, being too reserved. Maybe it's all authentic, but is it all beneficial? Is it all working? Is it all tuning into the vibe of the room? Is it all have love, fairness? I don't know. Does it have other things going on in the mind, or is it just self-protect mode? Like for my kids, I think if I had to make a vote, I'd be like, I would vote for them to be alive and make mistakes, or be fully self-protected and no mistakes. I'm like, I would vote for that one. I think though the most inauthentic maybe is that in the moments I'm wanting the person to think I'm smart or I'm cool, or I did something awesome, and I could retell a story and like inflate a detail. So instead of going like, oh my god dude, it was like 95 degrees, it was hot, I'm like, oh my gosh dude, it was like the hottest day ever, it was 102 degrees, and like I might just switch this tiny little thing to inflate the story. And when I think of that, it's like it just feels so inauthentic. So those parts of me that sometimes can like act stronger than I am, or act more certified than I am, or act more kind than I really am, or act more loving than I am, or just whether it's a good quality in inflating it, or it's a negative quality and kind of deflating it. I think that's inauthentic. I think the hiding, so maybe your question is, yeah, like I think the hiding behind just the real person is the inauthentic feeling and the inauthentic part. I don't think in the moment I think about it. I think a younger part of my like iOS updates of my life, like a younger part of my consciousness just takes over, and suddenly the moment is sort of being expressed through how a 12-year-old or 18 or whatever age shows up. Usually for me it isn't until minutes later or hours later or days later that the reflection comes, and then I can see it. But in the moment it's not thinking that way. I think it's what we learn to do to survive and adapt in our environment, and they say 90% of our communication is established by the age of 5, the way we express ourselves. So I just think the way we all express ourselves is subconscious, meaning like I don't think we're really aware. We're just, some parts of us are in reaction mode, and maybe it's because we believe it's the right thing to do and it's going to keep us safe, or maybe I have to always put on a smile and pretend to be helpful because as a kid I always had to like put on a good face and have good manners, and so this is what I think people need. So maybe I'm being inauthentic because I think this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I think there's parts that if our psyche is like 360 degrees, and I don't even think nervousness is just one little thing. It depends on which part of us is getting nervous. And so I just think to the degree that nervousness is kicking on and we start to move into the fight or flight response a little bit, I think those parts of our personality can take over and we're just kind of blind to it and unaware of it.
Authenticity for me feels like the definition of just what it is to be honest and truthful in moments where there's not anxiety driving that energy or fear driving that energy or just trying to make people like you in any space. Like you're trying to, like someone who's trying to appease or be accepted by,
All right.
By someone in the room, or maybe even by someone not in the room. Like we can be in a space and be trying to appease a parent who's not even there but really influenced our childhood. So we can be inauthentic in trying to uphold ideas or perceptions or roles that we're trying to fill, but it doesn't feel honest to how we really feel inside. So like you said, being able to just kind of forgive people's quirks or states that they're in
I don't know if you saw it, but I know I told you about it, that interview with William Shatner. And that lady was asking him about being an actor, and at lunch he says everyone's an actor. She's like, what do you mean by that? No, and he's like, no, you're definitely an actor. And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm me. I'm whatever her name was, Kathy or something. He's like, no. He's like, everyone's an actor. He's like, I'll prove it to you. He's like, you go to lunch with a friend, you haven't seen her in a bit, and she comes walking in and is wearing a dress, and your first instant reaction is like, oh my God. And you think like, Kathy, what are you thinking? Or Sarah, what are you thinking? And then by the time she walks to the table, you stand up and go like, oh my gosh, Sarah, it was so good to see you. Oh my God, you look lovely today. And so William Shatner goes, just think of how often that happens in everyone's life all the time. He's like, now, would you call that person a liar? No. Would you actually describe that as like, he's like, she did kind of the nice, friendly thing. Like the nice thing to do is to just accept the person as they are. And it wouldn't be that kind. So it's also what's authentic. It's like, well, there is kindness as well.
Right.
And there is like not saying something to a 5-year-old. Would you call that lying? Would you call it not sharing the truth? It's like, well, I remember this video that this boy asked a yogi. He said, what do you think of telling the truth and lies? And the yogi sits there for a minute and he says, young man, he says, do not concern yourself with what is true or false. He says, only think of this. He says, in whatever setting you're in, is what I'm going to say in the best and highest interest of everyone in the room. He says, it's not about what's true or false. It's about, is this in the best interest of everybody? If it's not, I'm just not going to say it. Or I'm going to say it differently. Or I'm going to, Jesus was so wise, and people would ask him direct questions. Well, it's kind of like this. There was once a farmer, and he tells a story. Like, because some things in life feel like just too direct and too hard to say. There's this beauty in the acting of it. I don't think can that get carried away, and can there become rad dishonesty? But then what is sales? And like, what are salesmen in the world? And can it go awry? Like, absolutely it can go awry. That's the problem. That's why humans are so tricky.
Right.
Like, and that's why it can be so hard to trust one another, but it's also like, what I've come to like learn and see and hear is like, the more you come to trust yourself and the more you get to know your shadow, and the more you get to see your impulses and why was I nervous in that moment? Why was I trying to be too nice? Why did I withhold my words and pull my punch in that conversation? Why did I, through the learning of it, like the more we get to know ourselves, it's like I can come to trust what I know. So the more gnosis I have of me and the more self-aware I am, now I can just be that much more self-aware of others, and I can navigate this interesting game, and I can see sometimes where someone is acting and they don't even know it. I think it also just depends who you're interacting with, because she's funny, but she's like, oh my God, she's like, I'm out there, she's like, I don't care, she's like, there's some people like in the world, they have no idea who I am.
Right.
Like, and I'm never like kind of show them that side of me. She's like, there's parts of me like I only show to some people, and to the rest of people who it doesn't really matter. I know that I'm doing no one any ill will. To what degree is it really doing harm? And so I don't think it's always just dishonest or telling a lie. But I think with those you're close to and trying to have a relationship with in business and in work and in family, it's like, well, if you keep using those tactics with people you're really close to, it becomes really hard. Like, I think closeness demands and requires intimacy and authenticity. And I think that's where two partners can really help each other, like where you and me challenge each other a lot over the years, but it is like these parts of us that we go back and forth and challenge. And it's like our authentic selves are fighting for the authentic self in the other, and can help see my shadow just like I can't see when there's something in my teeth. That's what I love about shadow work. It's often described negatively, but if you think of what a shadow is, it's just what I can't see at the moment. It's not that I'm unable to see it, but at the moment, I can't view it, so I can't see the food in my teeth. So I think shadow work, I've heard someone on Instagram say that like, shadow work, unfortunately, it was like, hey, bummer to let you all know this, but shadow work can't be done alone.
Right.
You can't. Like, there are parts of life, like, it's kind of symbolic of Jesus walking up the hill and like the guy carrying his cross. There's some aspects of the journey that like you just can't do it alone, and life won't let you do it alone. There's some things you cannot learn because it's your shadow, and it doesn't mean you're weak or bad or you're dark. Shadow's dark or you're stupid. It's just you just literally can't see it. And in the moment when I'm talking to you, I can't see. So then that's where the friend concept comes from, and the phrase like, hey, I got your back. I got your back. I got your six. Like, I can see if someone comes running up behind you, you can't see it right now. So really a friend to help you with your shadow is like helping you, not hurting you. So I have a friend, someone I know, a family member, who like if you walked in the restaurant, she'd be like, oh my gosh, good to see you. Like, oh my God, why did you choose that today? Like, that does not look good on you. They would just say it, you know?
Yeah.
So there are some people who are really blunt, and you'd go like, oh.
But when you know them, and I know who you're talking about, they're...
She's my favorite person.
That is their authentic self.
Yeah.
So wonderfully, it's actually not something to take personally in any kind of offensive sense. It's like, I know I'll get the truth, or whatever her truth is. But it's authentic to her.
How long has it been?
23 minutes.
23 minutes. Let's wrap it up, man.
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
Peace out.